Stop the scam. After DOGE revealed nearly half of the Social Security Administration's daily calls are from scammers trying to steal the benefits, the agency is finally cracking down. Starting today, all phone claims get screened for fraud. Red flags, you've got to show up in person and you're showing ID. Showing ID, what a concept here, so novel. But Musk says that it's common sense approaches like this that will save billions of dollars and make sure that Social Security is here for future generations.
How do you reassure people that what you all are doing is not going to affect their benefits?
No, in fact, what we're doing will help their benefits. Legitimate people, as a result of the work of DOGE, will receive more Social Security, not less. I want to emphasize that. As a result of the work of DOGE, legitimate recipients of Social Security will receive more money, not less.
But is fighting fraud enough? We're staring down a $78 trillion shortfall in Social Security and Medicare. That's the combined net worth of over 200 Elon Musks. So Washington can't just patch the holes here. It's got to right the whole ship. Congressman, I want to come to you to get your thoughts on this. And we have a full screen here that we can show to everyone to just illustrate how Medicaid costs have absolutely skyrocketed since the year 2000. Going through 2023, they have gone up by more than 300%, roughly 350%. We're talking around from roughly $200 billion in 2000 to over $900 billion in 2023. We cannot continue on this path, but I'm wondering, how can members of the GOP talk about reining this in without being accused of cutting everyone's benefits? Because that's what they're being accused of.
Yeah, and it's no matter what they do, they're going to be accused of that. And they understand there's a double standard here. So let me just tell you, so when I was chairman of the Ways and Means Committee in President Trump's first term, someone tried to steal my Social Security benefits. Wow. And we have oversight over Social Security. And we had someone trying to scam that. This is real. So the short answer is every dollar that Elon Musk can save, integrity and so is helpful. Yeah, these are huge numbers. I think at the end of the day, it's gonna take a bipartisan effort to save Social Security. I think you're going to have to, there's some common sense things that can be done to slowly raise the full retirement age, means test for the wealthy, get a cost of living that relates to seniors, not 20-somethings. There's some really good things, but it would help to start with some integrity, within the Social Security Administration. I think that's the value of what Elon Musk is doing.
I think you're absolutely right. And it shocks me when we take the waste and the fraud, and you've got Democrats who don't want to get rid of that, can't agree to that. But also ideologically, Congressman, we've got a major issue, because it's the Democrats versus the Republicans that want to expand these programs. President Obama did it with Medicaid. President Biden did it. The reason those numbers jump so much is because you've got illegal immigrants that shouldn't be on the program. Dagan's highlighted the fact that you've got states that don't do income checks. They just let people go on the rolls. And the expansion of that, when you give things, then it becomes very hard to take them away from people. And they're out there. Pandora's box has been opened. And now you see the Republican senators who feel conflicted because they're afraid. They're afraid if they get on board with Mike Johnson and these kinds of spending cuts, people are going to say exactly what Lydia said. You're throwing Granny off the cliff. I'm not going to vote for you.
Yeah, and it's there and it's real, and people back home buy it. But I think more and more Republicans, are willing to lean into and explain, like get out there on the campaign trail and explain why every dollar they save strengthens it.
Right.
For the poor, Medicaid's a great example. We're under Obamacare. You incentivize the wealth or more well-to-do who aren't working, mainly men, but you starve the single mom who's giving birth or senior in a nursing home. That makes no sense at all. Republicans, to their credit, want to change the way we provide that safety net in a good way.
Well, but there are some Republicans who are not so strong on this right now. Like the spine is, what was the line? It's the spine like a chocolate eclair. I think that's what Roosevelt said about McKinley or something like that. But that's what some of these guys operate like. The senator from Missouri, Josh Hawley. He's out there. And there's a lot of things I like about him, but man, he does not want to talk Medicaid. And I'm looking at some of these numbers, and these were actually, I didn't know, you've got 21 million able-bodied people on Medicaid, okay? Now, many of them probably need that. but you've got 6 in 10 of those people who don't earn any income. How can the vision of a Republican Party be, I want to protect a system that it seems to be better at keeping able-bodied people out of work than fostering them getting into work? Like if you don't believe in work as a Republican, you should find a different party or a different profession, because you are not helping the American people. So I wish there were more Republicans who had a little more spine in articulating that philosophical message about work and the role of government in that.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And, there have been efforts to introduce the work requirements. I think it was a couple of years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, Congressman, but there were talks about asking people that were receiving Medicare or Medicaid to work 20 hours a week, just 20. And the concessions, the exemptions that the GOP was offering were quite generous. If you were taking care of children, if you're taking care of an elderly person, if you were pregnant, you could get an exemption from this 20-hour per week work requirement. And yet it didn't come to fruition.
It's so reasonable. And in 2019, we did welfare reform 2.0 under President Trump, got it out of the House, work requirement for everyone in helping people get into that job. That's what Republicans stand for.
And Medicaid was expanded under Obamacare. And that's how working age, able-bodied men were able to get on it. And it needs to be dialed back. It's 60% bigger in terms of the spend than it was in 2019. Mm-hmm. It needs to be dialed back to what it originally was, but left, right, and center, they won't take a dime away from anybody. And there's a loophole that the states use, like California, where they raise taxes on the healthcare providers. Then they take the money and spend it on Medicaid as if it's an organic spend, and then they get a 60 cents for every dollar offset from the federal government. And California is using that to provide Medicaid for illegal aliens and rich people. And it is against the law to provide Medicaid for illegal aliens, but Gavin Newsom somehow is doing it and getting away with it because they won't close that loophole at the federal level.
As long as you see Medicaid not going to where the people are, but where the money is, the matching, you're going to have those types of abuses.
Mm-hmm. Well, now the fraud program goes into place. People might have to show up in the office to make a claim. So we'll see how that goes.